Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Penn State Sports Night. I'm Brooke Steach alongside Lexy Leidlein and Destiny Sanchez, and tonight we'll be recapping Penn State football's annual Blue-White Game. All right, ladies, starting this off, it was the first time, Beaver Stadium was packed for the Blue-White Game. Destiny, you got to enjoy the game on the field. What was it like being on the sidelines?
Yeah, I was grateful for the opportunity to be on the sideline for this Blue-White Game, the first one back since 2019. I was interviewing a few lettermen along with Aeneas Hawkins, a former player. It was great, Micah Parsons, Pat Fryermuth, Ellis Brooks, the list goes on. It was great to hear how they're doing. It's been a minute since they're back in Beaver Stadium, and it was great to see the brotherhood that Penn State football, forms. It's almost like they didn't even skip a beat, these guys. And it was great for them to be back, in this environment in Beaver Stadium. The fans, just showed, the passion and love for Penn State football. It doesn't leave. So it was great to see the lettermen and get to catch up with them on the field.
Yeah, such a great experience for you to interview those Penn State greats. I'm very proud of you. Now, going to Lexy, it was your last time as a student, in Beaver Stadium. What was your experience like?
Well, I'm not as famous as Destiny and didn't get to be on the field, but I was in the stands, and the last time I've been in the stands for Blue-White Game was my freshman year, so it was pretty bittersweet. Trace McSorley was the quarterback graduating when I was a freshman, so throwback to that year. But it was really awesome. I was really happy to see, like you said, lots of fans being there despite the weather and despite it being, the Blue-White Game that hasn't happened in over 2 years. So I was really glad to see that. And funny enough, there was apparently 62,000 fans. I saw a tweet somewhere that more than half the Big Ten schools have fewer fans at a regular season game than we did at our spring game. So the Big Ten needs to get their act together because our spring game was definitely one you shouldn't have missed, and I had a really great time, and I'll definitely miss my time here at Penn State.
I agree with that for sure. Now, getting into the actual game, how did you guys feel the blue and white squads did? And obviously we saw the defense won, so you guys want to touch on that?
Yeah, definitely getting into the depth of the blue and white game. There were some players that stood out to me and some new faces that stood out to me. Running back Nick Singleton in particular, he had the first carry of the game. Patron Allen was on the first team offense. And also the quarterbacks. It was great to see the depth in the quarterback spot. James Franklin said that Sean Clifford has had his strongest spring season so far and spring practice. So it'll be interesting to see how Sean Clifford is going to be used in the quarterback spot in the fall because Christian Veilleux also balled out as well. I felt like he did a great job this Saturday. And then in the 7v7s, we saw Drew Aller and Bo Perbula. They're still young and fresh in the Penn State football program, so I'm interested to see how Penn State football decides to use that quarterback spot in the fall, if we're going to see all four of them, if it's just going to be Sean like last year, but we'll see. I'm really excited. I felt like it was a good glimpse of the new faces in Penn State football and also the veterans as well.
Yeah, going off of what Destiny said, the quarterback spot is definitely going to be interesting to see what's going on. Like she also said, Sean Clifford had his best spring to date, James Franklin said. And if you look at Drew Aller, he's an intimidating person to look at, in person especially, being 6'4", 220. And then Christian Veilleux having a great Rutgers game last year, throwing 15 of 24 for 235 yards and 3 touchdowns. I'm excited to see him play more this season. And then Bo Perbula throwing that touchdown pass at the end of the game to safety Zakee Wheatley. I don't know who I'm going to like the most. I'm definitely going to tune in to watch to see who gets that quarterback spot. But I'm definitely excited, like Destiny said, to see who's going to be leading the offense this year at Penn State.
Yeah, very good points by both of you. I know it was my first and last time in the student section, so I was really excited to see the team. I think they have a really bright future, and I'm really excited to see the quarterback competition coming into the fall. And that's all the time we have here for Penn State Sports Night. For Destiny Sanchez and my fellow senior on our last Sports Night show, Lexy Leidlein, I'm Brooke Steach. Thanks for watching and have a great night.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night. We hope you liked that segment.
And we're sure there's other Penn State Sports Night segments that you are going to love as well. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content.
And check us out on social media for updates and behind-the-scenes clips and pics. Follow us on Twitter at PSSNTV and on Instagram at PSU Sports Night to keep up with all the action.
For all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.